Big Matt, let's go. Hey,
Big Matt back in the building.
I didn't tag you on Twitter. I probably fucked you.
No, I saw it was a mystery guest. I like it.
They've been asking about you, Matt, for weeks. We told him to be patient. Be patient. He's busy. He's back.
I've been on vacation, dog.
And people start seeing it's like, well, where's Meta? I haven't even seen his own show. And blah, 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 blah. I go, maybe that tells you something. I don't know. Like, why am I going to tell you this man's business? Like, fuck, he's doing shit. I saw you at the lake, though, with your girl, your babies, your kids.
Man, so fun.
How was that? That was Ozarks up in my old neck of the woods.
We go up to Lake of the Ozarks, Table Rock Lake every year for the 4th. We got a house out there, and it's
Table
so
Rock,
fun.
Arkansas.
So fun.
That's Arkansas side.
Yeah, and it's right on the border. So it's like Branson, Missouri. It's redneck central, but it's fun.
Tell everybody what town you went through. Tell everybody what town.
The drive down there is not fun. Fuck, bro.
What town did you drive through?
Independence. And I'm driving right through Independence, and I'm just like, man, this place fucking sucks.
How did JB do 4 years here?
God damn. So, but look, Kansas is just never-ending hell of 65 miles an hour on one-lane highways. So you're just dodging traffic the whole time. So you got to be on your P's and Q's. But it was a great break, and I'm glad to be back, and it's going to be a good fall.
Yes, it is.
No doubt. We got some exciting news that we're going to have for the fall, like certain players. Kyle Turley. We got a confirmation. Kyle Turley will be on weekly. Talk O-line play every week. It's Kyle Turley, Eric Weddle's in the chat right now. He'll be back on. Trent Richardson. We're also going to have Noel Mazzoni and Josh Booty. They're going to be on weekly to talk QB plays. Sean King, Sean Salisbury. We're going to have a loaded lineup during the fall season. And just to break down all things. So it's going to be nice. Yeah, hey, we started off. Awesome. Yeah. He's actually from the Inland Empire and, San Diego State guy. And Turley's a good dude out in Tennessee now living, but making music and shit. He's doing it all out there. But it's good to have you back. I gotta see. Are you starting your show back?
Yeah, we start this afternoon. So we're gonna start airing it at 4 Mountain Time out here. So 6 o'clock Eastern. You'll be able to listen to it every afternoon. My man Bailey is helping us out now, so pretty excited about that.
Look at Bailey's that co-producer. Look at that. See, producer Bailey Price.
On the 1s and 2s. Bailey's moving on up the world. So I'm pretty excited, man. We got our first show today. So, tune in and give us your thoughts. And it's going to be – we're going to take Wednesdays off. Mondays and Fridays is going to be like all NFL, college football, pertinent issues. But Tuesdays and Thursdays is all Buffs. So it's going to be all Colorado all day. And any questions you have, any concerns, any insight, all that shit, any hate, we're there. Smart. So make sure you tune in because it's going to be all Buffs Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, I think it's smart. I told Bailey if my show starts to lack because of yours, he's fired. So I'm just throwing that out there. Shout out to Bailey for doing everything. Hey, Matt, right out the gate, though, we had a tumultuous weekend. Very, very, to say the least, right? The first time since 81 has a former or sitting president been a victim of an assassination attempt on United States grounds. The poll question is, if he was hit with that fatal wound and shot, would we be in a civil war today? What's your take?
Look, as a history major and a student of history, it repeats itself. And look, I'm a conspiracy theorist anyway, but this has deep state written all over it. This has conspiracy written all over it. The lack of get your job done with the cops and the Secret Service and with this dude is climbing on the fucking roof is ridiculous to me. Like there's people that didn't do their jobs, and that's why this happened. But also the inability to call people on their bullshit is why this happened too. This kid is on social media, whether he's a registered Republican or not. I could give a shit. He's on social media talking about how much he hates people and he hates Donald Trump and he's got to do something about it, blah, blah, blah. Well, he did. And he almost killed a man. And he didn't just kill a man. He almost killed a former president and future president. And look, now this gives Donald Trump, I was going to vote for him anyway, and now it's going to be a fucking landslide, and it should have been without this. This is not good. It's bad at every level. I mean, it's not good when the American people are this divided. The left talks about, doing things the right way and nonviolence and gun control, and then they go out and try and assassinate a president. So, bro, this is as bad as it gets. I'm worried about the country, obviously. I don't think there's a whole lot of good that comes out of this. Regardless, it's either King Trump or he's dead, and both of those are bad because we're in a democracy. And then this is the death of the Democratic Party. I just don't know how they get out of this. Gavin Newsom is a demon. That guy cannot run for president. What he's done to California is a fucking disaster. You can't let him run the country. And then after that, I mean, who in the Democratic Party can actually run for president other than Sleepy Joe? And he can't be the guy anymore. So we are in a very, very bad spot in leadership in this country. If my only two options are Trump or Biden, I'm going with Trump all day, but I wish we had more options. I would urge everybody to take a deep breath and not reach for your handguns and not try and fight and argue, and try and sit back and let this cool off and figure out what really happened before we start, pointing fingers and pointing guns at each other. That I watched that movie, that Civil War movie, and it was pretty stupid. I mean, it was fucking ridiculous, but it sparks that in your head. Look, I'm just going to be real. The horrors of war, I don't know anything about them, okay? I've never been in a war zone, but both of my father, both my grandfathers, my uncle, my brothers, like my cousins, everybody's military. And this is not, you do not want conflict in the streets between American citizens and the government and the military and militias and people you just don't want it. Like, if you think the worst is going to happen is your air conditioning is going to get shut off and there's no internet, you're fucking nuts. Like, this has the potential to destroy everything. So,
famished, yeah, no food, exactly. Water.
We're on a very, very, very slippery slope right now, and I really hope that cooler heads can prevail and we can figure this out. But then again, the division is not just at a rally. The division is not just, on social media. Divisions in homes, divisions in workplaces, the divisions in families where, pretty much yesterday, all day was like complex conversation between family members that are on both sides of the fence. So civil war is brother against brother, and that shit is not going to work. So
it's funny you said that, because I don't know if I thought if that would have happened Saturday, I believe that World War III gets put on the back burner and civil war here in the country, our country, became prevalent. It would have became number one forefront. It would have been civil war over World War III, because everyone's talking World War III, and then if that would have happened, I believe we'd be in a civil war today. I just truly do. I think we wouldn't be on air today. I think I'd be worried about protecting my house and everyone that I know and love, or trying to get them over to one place of safe haven. Who knows where that would be? I think we'd be in a crazy place right now, but that's just me.
The problem is going to be how do you determine whose side you're on? There's no uniforms and shit. There's no sides. There's no Confederate and Union. This isn't fucking the 1860s. Right. Like, how do you determine who's on whose side? Is it just
you know what I think would happen?
Who are you? Like, that's not going to work.
Yeah. You know what I think would honestly happen? I think that states would start to say, I'm going to disown the government and I'm going to become my own state again, which was the original Civil War fighting purposes. I think like Texas would say, you know what? We have enough money, oil, resources. We have our own army. We can have our own National Guard. We'll fund it ourselves. Texas is, I think, third or fourth economy in the world. We'll take and shut down our borders and Mexican border, and we'll be our own state. I think everyone would leave and abandon California, my personal opinion. I think the California would be left out on its own as well. Not willingly, but I think the states would leave California and say, get the fuck out. And I think you would have other states do the same thing, like South Carolina and these other states. Not like segregation and shit like that is like what it was, I'm saying, but I'm thinking that those certain states would break away, which in my opinion would be like the Civil War. Whether it was killing each other or not, I don't know. But I'm saying as far as we have 50 states today, we may have 45, is what I mean. That's what I believe would happen, in my opinion. I think certain states would say, well, fuck you. Texas has the capability of doing that. California is the largest economy, second in the world, I believe. California can do it. There's certain states that could say, you know what? Fuck you. We're not letting you in. And we're going to say, fuck the government. We have enough money to do ourselves, do us. So I think you could have.
I will say this, and I agree with you on a lot of those points. I will say this. In my 42 years on this earth, going on 43 here shortly, I've never really been inspired by a leader. I was born in 81. The last time a president was shot, that was Reagan. I don't remember that, obviously. You know, my first memory of a president is, you know, first President Bush, kinda, but then Bill Clinton getting blown and being a fucking disgrace. And then after that, we had, you know, the other President Bush, who was a complete fucking moron and just couldn't do anything right. He was a complete disgrace. I actually thought Obama was pretty good. I voted for him twice. But then after that, our options are Trump or Hillary. That was a fucking disaster, but Trump did a pretty good job. And then COVID and Biden and Trump and blah, 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 right? I've always just sat back and been like, wow, this is such a shit show. These people are such scumbags. I fucking can't believe we're stuck with this. Like, this is our option for leadership. This is all we got, is these corrupt, entitled, rich assholes that think that they have something in common with the regular folks. And that goes with Trump too. He's a rich, entitled asshole. I don't know if he has a lot in common, but he sure does now. And I'm just saying, I know that it may sound naive and shit, but if something didn't stir inside of you when you saw that on national TV, you probably need to check your American card, bro, because this is a former president being shot, getting up with blood streaming down his face and yelling "fight" to the people. I've never seen anything like that. I'm watching it right now. I have goosebumps again. I understand that he's flawed. Everyone is. I am. Y'all are. Everyone's flawed. But that's fucking leadership. And yes, he's done bad things. And yes, he hasn't always been the president. And he didn't have to live under this moral code that politicians have to live under for 70 years. So I can't really sit here and point the finger at him for that. He was just a rich dude. Rich dudes do shit. Like, come on. But this shit right here, this is something that can either take us in the right direction, where I heard a very interesting, I can't remember who said it, but this is as American as it gets. Most people would get shot at and run and cower and hide. And this man got shot and stood up, and in the face of tyranny and the face of aggression, threw up the fucking black power, baby. It was like, fuck you. And this, it's one of the most, how do I say this? I don't know if I've ever been more excited to be an American than I am today, regardless of how bad things could get, because I do think that this could take us back to men respecting themselves and being stand up and, you know, standing in the face of tyranny, not running from it, and not just posting on social media, but actually being there. Like, it's a different feeling today. And this is something that I hope brings good.
I want to segue. We're going to get some sports with you, since we haven't had you on, and it seems like forever. And Smitty and I will end the politics right here. But I got two things to say to all the chat members because I did a video the other day stating that my father raised me to be Democratic, because the Democratic Party when I was young was like the middle class, broke, hardworking class. And then we looked up to the rich fucking bougie, what we called Republicans at that time. It's totally flopped now. The Republicans are no longer the breadwinners. It's the Democrats that are the breadwinners. And it's not the same Democratic Party that I grew up in. So when you say you voted for Obama twice, I don't believe the chat understands that, first of all, athletes, Smitty, myself, Matt, Weddle, I've taught everyone I know, gave a fuck about politics. We didn't give a fuck. By the way, we didn't give a fuck. And we didn't give a fuck about it because when we were young, We focused on sports, entertainment. That was our lane. While a lot of you nobodies bagged groceries, did nothing, went to school. All each his own. Fine with me. But let's be honest. Athletes were different. We only looked at things a certain way because we were more focused on athletics. We never give a fuck about politics. So we didn't give a fuck who we voted for at the time. We only knew this much about politics. We voted for the cool guy. Let's just be honest. We voted for the guy that we thought we related with.
Well, let's be real. Who did Obama run against? Who Obama ran against?
Was it McCain?
He ran against McCain, and then he ran against Mitt Romney, right?
Romney was winning. Remember, Romney was winning.
And he was, but I can't vote for Mitt Romney. I can't vote for Mitt Romney. McCain could have been a good president. I don't know, man. Shit, but I can't vote for Mitt Romney.
I wasn't voting for either. I didn't vote. I don't vote, but I was like, dude, there's no way that either one of those guys I would want over.
Well, I'm really gray. I'm in the middle here. I think that the Democrats are fucking crazy. I think the Republicans are crazy as fuck. I think I'm right in the middle on both sides. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Is there any common sense?
I think that's the way to be, in my honest opinion. Yeah, I think that's the way to be because I say this all the time. I think whatever side you're on, like you'll never convince the other side that you're right about anything. Like you can say something obvious. You can say 2 + 2 is 4, and the other side's like, fuck it, that's wrong. Because both sides are so ingrained in like being whatever side they're on, Republican or Democrat, that they're just blind to anything else. I think you being in the middle is like you're just looking at it for what it is and making an actual like logical decision based upon your beliefs and what makes sense to you.
Hey, let me ask you this right now, though. Like, after what just happened, I got to ask both of you real quick, and then we'll get out of politics because we got a lot of sports to talk about before Matt gets out of here. We got 15 minutes with Matt before Sean King. Let me ask you, Matt and Smitty both. For all three of us, well, 2 of us for sure have always been I've been an independent thinker, gray area type of guy. It's not really gray area. I told myself when I was young, I'm never going to vote because I think it's a scam and I think it's always been set up. So I'll never vote. So that was no gray area thinking on that. It was just my take. That was my take. But now, after what's happened and what we see has been going on, is it time to pick a side? I'm still not voting, but I have endorsed Trump on my T-shirts because I'm not supporting the current administration. That's what endorsing means to me. It doesn't mean I have to vote for anyone, but I will endorse someone over the current situation. That is what endorsing is, by the way, contrary to belief. I'm not going to support what's currently going on. I'm going to endorse the only other option that's on the ballot, in my opinion, which is unfortunate, another 80-year-old fucking old man. I don't get it. In a country of 400 million people, I kept saying this. Where are the 40 and 45-year-olds? But there is no 40 and 45-year-olds because they don't have the money, and money is what gets you on the ballot. So I'm just trying to figure out, is it time to say, all right, enough's enough. After what's gone on, I got to go this way or I got to go this way. Are we at that boiling point, tipping point, breaking point where everyone needs to pick a side? Because what if there is a civil war one day? I don't know. I just want to ask that real quick.
Look, I don't know the answer to all these questions, but I do know that there's no third party. Once in my life,
remember it used to be.
Yeah, Ross Perot once ran third party, and a lot of people think because Ross Perot ran third party is why Clinton won in the first place back in the day, because he took so many votes away from President Bush. Look, I'm not saying that in this country you have to vote. You don't have to. You don't. I would appreciate if people voted because your vote does matter, in my opinion. And it's hard for me to, if you're not going to play the game, it's very similar to football for me. If you're not going to play, it's hard for me to listen to you bitch. So if you're not going to play the game, it's how can you complain about it? Even if you don't think your vote matters, which, you know what? I mean, let's be real. When Trump won the first time, he lost the popular vote by over like 2 million votes, but still won because of the Electoral College. So, yeah, you're right. Maybe your vote doesn't mean shit, but the ability to go do it, the ability to go cast your vote, and really what it comes down to is people need to stop just voting for president. people need to start voting for governor, and see people need to start voting for senator, and people need to start voting for mayor, and people need to start voting for sheriff. And if you want things to change in your area, you have to be the change. So that's all I'm saying is, I hear this, well, one person can't do anything. That's not the world I grew up in, dog. I grew up in a world where one guy did everything. You give me one bad motherfucker with, just like Joey says, one bad motherfucker with 3 friends, he can take over a fucking country. And I truly believe that. So I don't believe that the vote doesn't matter. I don't believe it doesn't count. I think that people should go vote and then let people know who you voted for, and then try and have an educated conversation. I'll shut up after this. When I start talking to people about this whole situation, and this has been like an 8-year conversation because it started when Trump started running, it seems like it's very emotional to me and not rooted in like facts. Like a lot of the things that people are mad about, myself included at times, is this is how I feel. And it sounds very, how do I say this? It sounds like I'm in a fight with my significant other. Like I'm dealing with how my feelings affect that person, and then those feelings, and I have to accommodate for the other feelings, and there's just feelings everywhere. And I'm sitting over here like, fuck, man, I barely feel anything. So this is hard. At some point, facts have got to ring true, but it's so much misinformation, and there's so much, like, the media is so corrupt, and their agenda on both sides of the aisle is ridiculous. Like, for example, the Denver Post, the biggest paper out here in Denver, which is obviously ran by just some libtard somewhere. Okay. The front page of the paper after Trump was almost assassinated was gunman shot. And then in little tiny print, Donald Trump attacked. And it made me angry as fuck.
It's
like
crazy,
that. Who the fuck in the newsroom at the Denver Post thought that putting the gunman on the gunman shot dead? Motherfucker, president almost assassinated. That's the story. Like, come on. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Like, you can't just make it your own fucking narrative.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, it would have been like, I don't know, man. It's scary to even think about. And I don't care. Fuck.
Look, I hate talking about this kind of shit too. Like, I knew we were going to have to talk about it, and I'm going to talk about it on my show today because you have to. This is not something that happens very often. But this also puts everybody talking. All the experts in the comments, I'm not reading them because I've made a pact with myself where I don't read comments anymore. You don't know shit either. We're all speculating. We don't know shit, dog. This is an opinion show. Smitty don't know shit. I don't know shit. Davey doesn't know shit. King doesn't know shit. Weller don't know shit. Turley don't know shit. We don't know shit. We're just sitting around just like you going, holy fuck, they just shot at the president. Just because we got a little bit of clout in this world don't mean anybody's telling us nothing. We're going to be in the goddamn foxhole next to you.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm with you 100%, man. Like you said, all this just confusing, man. Like, it's stressful, man. I really hate that. And I don't use the word hate, but I really dislike this shit. Like, it's just.
We can talk about it forever. You know, we can talk about this whole thing because it just happened and it's the biggest news in the world, and we could be talking about this all show. But like, I just look at it like, dog. I think we've been a victim of privilege in this country compared to others. You can talk shit about our country and all this you want, but we've been a victim of privilege. We've been a victim of privilege. And Smitty, I think we the younger generation has been the most privileged because they've never had really any rifts in their young lives. They've been able to play video games, Smitty. They've been able to play video games, Matt, smoke weed, relax, not worry about a fucking thing.
Nothing. Air conditioning every day.
Hey, think about it, Smitty. Think about it, Matt. They've had PE taken out of the classroom. They don't have to fucking dress out. They don't have to fucking work out. They don't got to go play hoops outside. They got 2 days. They don't got to play 2 days. Fuck.
That's true.
I'm coaching at Mount Vista where my son plays. And the first day I showed up, these kids walked into the weight room in pajamas and Crocs.
Oh, yeah, bro.
And I was like, hey, get the fuck out of the way. Let me go get dressed. And they're all like, oh my God, he's yelling at me. And I'm like, nah, dog, you're just in your PJs.
Right. Like, come on. Hey, that goes around like nationwide. I know
hate that shit.
My mother-in-law is like the school nurse or something at my old high school, and she said these kids will literally walk around, headphones on, pajama pants, like you just said, flip-flops, Crocs, just like what? Like,
hey,
how are you going to get away from a mass shooter in Crocs, number one? And number two,
slippers don't count.
No one in high school tries to get pussy anymore. Didn't you have to go to high school looking good? Or do the girls dress up like a bunch of fucking Kurt Cobains too?
That's the bigger point, Matt. Like when we went to high school, and I know I'm a little younger, but even me, like we care. Like
you had to look good.
That first day fit was like, oh, I got the pants on the bed, the t-shirt with the shoes on the floor. Like,
even JB wanted to look good. Fuck, he had some crispy ass Stacey Adams on at one point. You know it.
Yeah, I did.
Parking lot pimping.
Yeah, I did have that. I just, it's crazy to think about, dog. And you know what the crazy part is? Like, I hate to say this, and we'll move on. We got to get Matt 10 minutes of sports. Right. The crazy part of this is, if, in my opinion, if this younger generation were to be smacked in the mouth, meaning this, let's just say we do go to war, and they lose some loved ones, they lose their brothers, their daddies, their homies, it might change the world. It might change their whole perspective on things. So this generation has yet to lose a family member or a loved one in a war fighting for this country. And I don't believe if we go to war right now, it's for this country. And that's why I would say, fuck you. I'm not sending my kid to this draft. I'm not sending my kid to enlist.
No way.
Fuck you. This ain't a fight for our country no more. And that's what's the problem is. Like, it's almost a good thing, in my opinion. I hate to say that. If these younger cats figure out, oh, shit, this is real. I got to really go out here and hold a gun on the front line against China crossing the water. Like, they don't realize how privileged they've had it. And I just think that's where we are.
When they ship your ass to Taiwan, they're not going to be like, what's your pronoun? They're going to be, get on the fucking line. Here's your gun. Shut the fuck up. Like, things change quickly when everyone stops giving a shit about your feelings.
Exactly. Xfinity, take it away. I know we got some questions for Matt before we got to run through a few real fast before we get out of here. I know it's been Politic Monday, but go ahead.
Good, man. We're rolling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving on to some sports. Shout out to Bailey for helping us get this lined up, producing the show the way he always does. Deion Sanders calls out the haters, says, don't get mad at me because your daddy didn't do what he was supposed to do in an interview. Bailey, do we have an actual video? Let's play it.
Them out there like cake. I just want them to soar. And don't get mad at me because your daddy didn't do what he's supposed to do. Okay. What the organ? Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Bucky said that a long time ago. Bucky, didn't you say that a long time ago? Then you say, don't get mad at you because your dad didn't do what he's supposed to do.
Yes, sir. Always. Yes.
100% unequivocally agree. Because my business, what I deal with at 6-0, the kids that walk in there, I question 9 out of 10 of them if they even have a father. Like, you can't do a push-up, you have no heart, you look at the floor, you don't know how to shake hands. Like, obviously your father wanted to be your friend. And look, if you're watching this and you get offended by what I say, I didn't say your name. Obviously there's something inside of you that I just triggered. I as a guy who's extremely involved with his children, and my big one at 11 years old looked at me and said, Daddy, can you help me get a scholarship too? And I was like, fucking A, buddy. You're going to work harder than you ever have in your fucking life. My other boy is 11 years old now, and he doesn't want to play football, and he's working just as hard because it's about building your body and your mind as a man. It's not just for a sport.
Right.
But I think that, I think there's a huge, huge problem in this country where men think they need to be friends with their kids. I want the respect of my son. I don't want his friendship. Fuck being friends with my son. I'll be friends with him when he signs an NFL contract. Until then, we are father and son, and we got work to do because that's his goal. If he wanted to be an astrophysicist, I would be putting everything into making sure he was the best astrophysicist possible because that's what he said he wanted, and I believe him. So, yes, I do believe Coach Prime has a point, and I don't want to hear this, well, I have to work and support. Yeah, I have to work and support too. I still have find time to be a dad and coach and do everything that I need to do for my children. So the number one thing that any man needs in his life, especially when they're young and dumb, and just like point blank says, young, dumb, and full of cum, when they're at that point in their life, their father has got to be the guy that's got to fucking go out there and grab them by the scruff of the neck and teach them how to do things correctly. And when that's not there, it's a huge problem, and it trickles over into sports terribly. There's a fucking reason why Howie Long's kids are ballers, Deion's kids are ballers, Manning's kids are ballers. There's like the Matthews brothers, those kids are ballers. There's a reason why, because it's a family tradition, baby. It's like Hank Williams Jr. in this bitch. So and look, I'm not just talking about sports. This is in every regard. If your father's not your role model, you have a fucked up family.
Let me caveat on that, Smitty, real quick. Here's the take. My dad was at the bar for most of my life, and my dad raised me in a manner that, number one, I feared fucking up to let him down. Number one, to let him down. Number two, because he would have choked me the fuck out and drug me around. So that my point is, the meaningful time that our fathers spend with our children is the problem that's missing right now. Like the meaningful time, like it was the sit downs and let you know this is what the facts of life is. And I don't know if we have that anymore. Whether my dad went to drink or not, the time that he was around. And I'm not going to say my dad wasn't around me. He raised me the right way. And trust me, I feared him in a manner that I was scared to let him down. Number one, I went to jail and he showed up at Thanksgiving and I was like, most devastating thing ever. And my dad looking at me in jail on Thanksgiving and I'm like, I'll never let you down again like this. And I feared doing that. Plus I feared fucking up because he'd whip my ass. So I think we've taken away that as far as how we've actually reared our children. That's number one, because you can be away, but the presence was actually felt from 1,000 miles away to a mile away. So like it didn't really matter. And I don't think we have that anymore. We have too many homie, lover, friends.
Too many homie dads. Exactly.
Yeah, the yes men, do boys. Even our homies, man. There's all this going on in the NFL right now that players are getting caught up in DUIs every single fucking day, it seems like. And it's like, where is your circle saying, what the fuck you doing, Matt? Like,
stop drunk. Like everybody, there's this program in the NFL. It's called Rideshare, I'm pretty sure, where they employ ex-police officers and current cops that are off duty to pick you up in a town car and drive your drunk ass around so you can party and take you the fuck home while you have an armed guard cop in the car with you protecting you.
I think they got rid of it according to Sheldon Day. They got rid of it, but each team allows you to have like a $50 per diem to get one.
The NFL guys need a per diem so they don't drive drunk.
And Sheldon and Weddle said the same thing. Like, come on, fuck it. We're going to pay the $150 fee.
Get a cap.
Yeah, we're going to take the fee. Here's the thing about it. It's crazy to me with the transition because last night there was another dude, arrested in this Addison kid. Matt, this was at LAX, Smitty. LAX, homie. You know how many cabs? You know how many cabs and Ubers are at LAX though? Just FYI. What, 10,000? 10,000?
Yeah, at least.
So like you can't get in a fucking Uber or a cab at the airport?
Well, are you telling me he got off a flight, got in his car hammered and fell asleep, or he pulled up to pick up somebody?
Yes.
So he got off a plane, drunk as fuck, got in his car and passed out, and then they found him asleep in his car.
That's what I'm hearing. Yep.
Well, from Charles Bailey behind the scenes, I'm hearing he fell asleep in the Rolls Royce on the highway. I don't know.
Dude.
Regardless, though, this is his second time, I think, getting into some shit. And he's only played 1 year. He was rookie last year, right?
Here, man, I haven't had a drink in 16 years, and I'm really proud of it. Stop drinking. Alcohol is poison, dog. It will rob you of everything in your life. Ask Henry Ruggs. Do these dumb motherfuckers not know how to read? Like, bro, you don't have a Twitter account. You didn't watch Henry do that. You didn't watch so many fucking guys do it. Like, I remember Lawrence Little back in the day for the great defensive end. I played with him with the Rams for a summer before I got
Tennessee Rams,
He killed somebody driving drunk. Like it, bro, stop fucking drinking and driving, you assholes. Like there's nothing more unacceptable to me than that shit. If you drink and drive, you're a total piece of shit.
I think people just like always think, oh, it won't be me.
I've only had 5 beers.
Right. I'm good. I can drink. I'm not even loaded. I'm not even drunk for real.
drunk, man. Fuck you.
The problem is that probably 8 times out of 10, guys probably do drink and actually do like make it home, right? So in their head, they really believe, oh, I'm fucking good. But all it takes is that one time to not be good, and you end the life. So
you stick your dick in the blender once, you ain't got no dick anymore.
Come on,
listen, now. Listen. I believe there's a stat we're gonna show later. University of Georgia has had like 34 driving incidences.
Did you see what Mike Gundy said about his running back?
Oh,
yeah, I did. Well, we did a whole.
It's only a 0.8. He's good.
We did a whole show.
He said, "Listen, how many times have I been that? Have I been like that? I mean, I get it."
Hey, Matt, it's crazy. Like that's the enabled.
Yeah, but if I would have done that in college, if I walked in, I'm like, "Yo, Coach Wilson, Coach Barnett, man, I got a DUI last night. I'm sorry." And Coach Barnett was like, "What was the number?" And I was a 0.1 or it was a 1.0. Oh, well, 0.8's legal. I've been there many times. You're good, bro. Go pass rush. I'd be like, to the bar.
You know what, man? We'll punish you in the first game by making you play 100 plays.
Yeah, you're gonna.
I gotta be honest.
The punishment is you're not coming off the field.
Hey, I don't know if E-Dub's in here in the chat or not, but E-Dub hit me up yesterday and was telling me a story, but I'm not going to tell the story. But here's the crazy part. Like, Matt, the NFL isn't suspending or disciplining these dudes for DUIs in a harsh enough manner. And if they're not, and if you're not going to do it, guess what college kids are going to do? They're going to do the same thing because you've never had this many college kids. Hey, Matt, you've never had college kids. You've never had college kids driving Maybachs. You never had college kids driving Maybachs. How many college kids have you had drive Maybachs?
Shuttle pass, drink. No, none, dog. Like, look, when I went up to the CU camp, my son Nick got invited up and like was an elite freshman and balled the fuck out. It was awesome. But at the camp, we pulled up into the parking lot, dog, and it is just. Back in my day, back in the fucking day, it was like beat up trucks and shit. Like maybe one of the rich dudes had a nice fucking car. But now it's like there was 2 Bentleys. There were like 4 or 5 fucking Benz that like it looked like an NFL parking lot. And I was just like, huh.
You see that graphic right there?
God damn, this is getting ridiculous, bro. I'm not saying that they don't deserve the money, but you got to understand that when you give young alphas that have fucking testosterone running through them like goddamn gasoline all day, every day, that are being told to go out and be savages. When you give them money and opportunity and then no ramifications, bad shit happens.
Hey, it's almost like what does JB know, Smitty? Because I think I've been saying this for how many at least a whole year you've been on this show with me.
You've been saying it for a while. You said
it forever, bro.
You said these babies can't even drive. Period. Regular cars, let alone these high ends. You know,
I mean,
think about this. Think about like we just talked about money and shit, right? I've got 3 2B junior offensive linemen right now. Brett Coolidge, Deacon Schmidt. Maybe it's just 2, 3, 2. I can't remember, but those 2 for sure. And Brett's got like 32 offers. Deacon's got 7, and then Reese Russell. He's another one. He's going to be a sophomore. He's got like 15. Well, now the conversation isn't like, how do we get your parents on campus to show you the buildings, blah, blah, blah. Now it's all with Breck, especially because his offers are Georgia and Texas and Alabama and fucking everyone. It's, okay, where's the starting number? And the starting number is like $1 million. They're like, yeah, that's low. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, Jesus Christ. So I'm telling you, bro, the fucking opportunity out here is so deep. It's just a matter of taking advantage of it and not fucking it up once you get it. Understand the power you have once you get this opportunity.
Hey, shout out to our main man, a military man, Ash in the building. I appreciate him coming in here, dropping a C note on us, but also giving us some takes. And this
Thank you, Ash. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, appreciate your service. You already know Ash. I've talked to Ash quite a few times on here over the years, so he's been a follower for a while, so we appreciate him. But he's right. Let me ask you something on the same topic though, Smitty, and that's why I've always harped on this. If I don't teach you and I don't learn how to maintain what I own, I'll never appreciate what I own. And that's just what it is. If I don't know how to change the oil or change a tire on the side of the highway with my girl or my daughter in it, I should be ashamed of myself for driving that vehicle. A little less a fucking Hellcat and a fucking brand new Vet, and I'm going to go that goes 180 miles an hour, and I've never even driven a Prius yet. This is the problem we have. We've given the car keys of the Lamborghini to the kid before they even learn how to drive, and that's fact. I've been telling you for a year and a half since the NIL deals have gotten out of hand. This is what's happening. These kids don't have a value of $1, a little less a life, and then they don't even have value for their own lives. And you're gonna let these kids have fucking keys to these cars, and they don't, with your kids and daughters and wives on the highway with these idiots? Like, how fucking reckless and irresponsible are you? How many guys, like Matt pointed out, have seen the Ruggs, the Jalen Carters, the other issue we just talked about last week, the running back for Oklahoma State? Right. How many guys are you going to see? How many guys are you going to see do it before you stop fucking doing it? Are we just fucking ignorant? When are we going to start cutting you out for a whole year, Matt? This is what Weddle and I talk about and all these people. You're suspending a guy for betting on a $15 DraftKings, but not fucking DUIs?
Right.
Fucking
and so it's in the enabling too. It's just going to lead to less production, less good. Football was so good back in the day. The rules were a little bit different, obviously, but it was so good because you didn't have the ability to do shit like this. Like, you had to be a major superstar to get away with dumb shit. And then on top of that, like I said this the other day, and I don't know if I truly believe it. I wanted to get your guys' opinion on it. I feel like you had to be good back in the day to actually play. Like, I feel like so many guys just get drafted now, and if you're drafted, you're going to get an opportunity. That's not the way it was when I played, and I really loved it. Like, it was always equal opportunity. Even though I was undrafted, if I was better, I would play. And like now, I don't feel like that's the way it is. I feel like there's so many good football players out there that don't even get an opportunity because there's no pads on, there's no physicality. I never would have been able to show the coaches or anybody what kind of player I was ever because we were in fucking t-shirt. We'd be in t-shirts and hoodies all the time. I never get to go after the starters and play hard. So
right.
I don't know how this is going to work moving forward. I don't know how you can breed entitlement and also breed competitive nature. I don't think those things two are exclusive. So I'm very eager to see where it all goes. This is going to be a great year, and I really can't wait.
Yeah, Matt, appreciate you joining us. We gotta take a commercial break after this rant I got, but we got a video to show for the return of Big Matt and 6-0 Academy. Bailey,
y'all. Welcome to 0 to 60. I'm Matt McChesney. I am the owner and operator of 6-0 Football Academy and 6-0 Equipment. Played at the University of Colorado from 2004. 6 years in the National Football League on both sides of the football. I'm Matt McChesney. This is 0 to 60. That is Coach Prime. We are at the University of Colorado. Brother, thank you so much. All right. 0 to 60, we're rolling.
Baby, you better not get hit for a strike for fucking Metallica or whoever the fuck that is.
No, that's original music.
Nah, Betty said I own the song. It's my song.
My song. He says my song.
Betty talking that talk. Betty be coming back at you now, JB. He's starting to get a little more. Dude, I like it, Betty. Keep coming at JB. When he
I'm really excited about it.
I'll fire your ass, baby. Hey, baby, just know for every fucking one of you that does this for free, there's another guy that'll do it for free. Hey, Matt. I used to tell my assistant coaches that I don't get paid. You know what? There's a million other motherfuckers that'll do this job for free too.
Do that shit for free.
Bailey don't do it for free, kind of for free, but
shout out to Bailey, man. We fucking with you.
Good job, Bailey. You're the man, bro.
That video was fire though. I love the music behind it. It fits your brand. Everybody on the show, go tune in, tap in. He's back. You said today, right?
Yeah, we're back today. Today, God knows what we're going to talk about today. We'll talk about the Trump thing a little bit, but it's mainly going to be NFL. We're going to talk about CU a lot. probably heavy CU show today, so I'll be able to answer any questions there, get everybody's opinion on. I can't wait. First of all, are you going to get NCAA, Schmitty?
You know what? I think I am, and I haven't been on the game in a while, but this moment is about to bring me back, I think, to the game. You know,
like I think we should Are you going to do it, Coach? I don't know if you play video games.
Fuck no, they owe me money.
Well, NCAA is different. It's not normal. Chill out. I think
not EA Sports. Not EA Sports.
No, it is, but the
that's
NCAA,
what I'm talking about. They're using my name all over the place. Fuck them. I want money.
They're not using regular people on Twitter or just. Yeah. I'm sorry, Matt. Keep going.
I'm saying I can't wait to get the game in a couple of days, and we got to fucking play and stream it.
Yeah,
and get people fucking involved and shit. It looks pretty cool. But I watched Hunter and Shedeur play, and Travis Hunter's playing, and he's like, "Well, this game's super realistic. The offensive line sucks," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I did see that. I did, and I think he's just trolling his team, talking
shit.
Everyone's taking it out seriously. Yeah,
anybody that's ever played the game, it was out obviously when I played. So you'd be on the game, and you used to be able to you have memory cards, right? So I used to have to go buy a memory card that had all the players' names on it and upload it, and it would upload everything, and then you could take that draft class, put it on Madden, and keep playing. It was dope. Yeah. But we used to have fucking weekend long wars, bro. Set up a tournament, everybody put in $100 and just fucking playing till 3 a.m. Cops come. You guys are being too loud. We're like, fuck you! With 9 rounds. I'm just so excited for the game. I can't wait. My boy Clint Oldenburg is the head designer for Madden and NCAA, so he says the game is just incredible. And he's never lied to me before, the CSU Rams, so we'll see how it goes, man. I'm so excited for the football season. I can't wait, and I'll be on here every Monday and Friday.
Let's get it.
Appreciate you, Matt. We'll see you on Friday.
See you again.